So this man just sued his wife for giving birth to a child who is SS. Let me explain.
I am here because of my child. I am AA, she is AS. And when he was 2 years, he was diagnosed to be SS. Wow.
Have you repeated the test?
Yes.
So medically, it's almost impossible for a man to be AA and the wife is AS and they give birth to a child who is SS. So in the case of Mr. Stephen Moses, his wife gave birth to SS while he's AA and his wife is SS. So Mr. Stephen took his wife to court to explain what happened. According to Mr. Stephen, they discovered the child was SS when the child was falling sick constantly after birth. So they decided to go and do test and they now discovered that the child was SS. Now, just to be sure, they decided to do the test in multiple places, like in different hospitals, and the test came out the same. The child is SS. According to Mr. Stephen, they spent a lot of money trying to take care of that child, so he couldn't take it anymore. Mr. Stephen also explained that before marriage, they went to do a test to confirm that they are both compatible for each other. So after they gave birth to a child of SS, they went back to hospital again to clarify, to make sure they did not do mistake before marriage. And the test came back that Mr. Stephen is AA and his wife is AS. So there was no mistake between both of them. But how come they have a child of SS? So Mr. Stephen now took it to the court, where the court now did a paternity test, which is DNA test. So the DNA test came out that the child, it does not belong to Mr. Stephen. Now, just to be sure that the child was not swapped in the hospital, Mr. Stephen explained that when the child was given birth to, that he was there. In fact, the day they gave birth to the child, he was present in the hospital. It was only 2 women that gave birth in that hospital that day. And the first woman that gave birth before his wife. So that one gave birth first and left. In fact, his wife gave birth second, which it wasn't even a hospital, it was in a clinic. In fact, it was almost impossible to swap their child in the hospital. So Mr. Stephen is very sure that the child was not swapped in the hospital. According to him, his sister-in-law was present in the hospital that day. So they have 0 chance of swapping the child in the hospital. Now, the court is asking Mr. Stephen's wife to come and do a test to make sure that she is the biological mother of that child. But Mr. Stephen's wife is not responding to the court call. She's not picking their call. She's not responding to anybody. In fact, according to Mr. Stephen, he also said that his wife's family arrested him for not sending money to take care of the child, because after the DNA test, he has to stop sending money to them. So now the court is waiting for Mr. Stephen's wife to come and do her own test to make sure the child was not swapped. But Mr. Stephen's wife is not responding at all. So with all this right now, it's very obvious that Mr. Stephen is not the biological father of that child and the child was not swapped at all. In fact, with all indication, it's obvious that there is something Mr. Stephen's wife is hiding. So what do you guys think? Do you think there is a chance that the child might have been swapped in the hospital? But before you think,
enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.